Furthering our paths in life, Southwestern will always have a part of our identity because once a Mustang, While applying for one of many college scholarships, a necessary evil, because as we found out, college ain't cheap, I came upon an essay question I could no longer copy, paste, and patch together from previous essays, sadly. What is the importance of being a lifelong learner? I was forced to start anew with a question that at first I had no interest in answering, mainly because of one word, learner. I began to have flashbacks to the shift from teacher-student to facilitator-learner, which we found oh so unsettling. And if you're anything like me, it doesn't matter whether it's the first or 23rd time you've heard it, learner still makes you cringe a bit. Regardless of my dislike for that word, I was faced with a question, and I needed to come up with an answer. After much thought, I remembered a day back in December during a Rotary luncheon where I had the opportunity to connect with our former superintendent, Dr. After discussing what any senior in high school is asked, what are your plans after high school, we spoke about what kept her busy since retiring. She shared that, apart from spending more time with her family, she was still attending school events and engaging more in the community. In fact, she had actually just returned from a symposium on empowering women. Before departing, she gave me her business card, which read, Community Activist and Lifelong Learner. After this pivotal exchange with Dr. Rupp, the term began to resonate anew for me. Before me was a well-educated woman who had spent a lifetime engaged in a school system improving the education of so many young minds. A woman who had done her fair share of learning, yet it continues to be a defining part of her life. Thinking back on this now, I attribute her respect for lifelong learning with her involvement in our education system. Even in our short 18 years of life, we have learned a great deal from our experiences, personal connections, and memories. This education we have grown up in has set our foundation for personal growth. We started out learning alongside our family. For some of us, it was the painful task of sharing with siblings, then sharing with strangers as we ventured out from our safety net and entered the bizarre world of kindergarten. You mean I have to share my crayons with a stranger? We worked our way through elementary school, gaining the vital skill of how to cherry bomb our way to the king spot. We moved on to middle school where we began to learn who we are as people, and thankfully, the necessity for deodorant. By the time we had middle school down, we felt on top of the world, big, bad 8th graders. Only to learn that we were standing at the starting line yet again. We were set, waiting for the starting pistol to commence the journey of high school before us. We entered timid, but ready to take on all the possibilities before us. Because hey, they said these would be the best years of our life. It is here we learned, much to our relief, the myth of Freshman Friday, the importance of quality friendships, what it takes to run an election campaign, and the feeling of first loves and first heartbreaks. We learned how to endure some of the longest days of high school filled with back-to-back early morning meetings, classes, and then after-school practice that ended only enough time to go out and grab something to eat before we are yet again back at school for a work night, only to then leave school too late at night and still have to find the motivation to go home and cram for tomorrow's test. But we did it all. In fact, we did it all while time flew by. For today is the day we must admit to our parents, but every child needs to admit to their parents. They were right. They were right when they told us we were growing up too fast, and before we knew it, this day would be here. And then we might have dismissed our counsel as complete nonsense with an eye roll, just parents being dramatic. We can no longer, because that day, the day they said would always come too fast, has certainly come too fast. Our years of education have built our mountain of possibilities. As we stand atop on the cusp of embarking on life's limitless landscape, it is being a lifelong learner that has created our peak of possibilities. Learning extends beyond our 12 years of education. Now, we can begin to truly prosper as we see all it has brought us, but more importantly, all it will bring us. Our growth as individuals is dependent upon learning, and only through self-improvement can we hope to understand, empathize, and create in order to cultivate the evolution of our world.
Every child has big dreams. Some of you may have seen yourself playing baseball with aliens in outer space, casting spells that turn people into inanimate objects, or if you were like me, you dreamed of saving the world as your favorite superhero, Mr. Incredible. I used to imagine myself venturing through the rainforest into my backyard and dodging lava pits that resembled mud puddles to defeat the bad guy, who just so happened to be my younger brother. Pretending to be Mr. Incredible allowed me to escape to a world where I could go to great lengths to make a difference, and look awesome while doing it. However, upon entering middle school, I was forced to come to terms with the reality that I would never possess the superhuman strength necessary to be the Mr. Incredible that Disney portrayed. For most of us, walking through the doors of DHMIS signified the beginning of our journey in molding our childhood dreams into realistic aspirations. So there we were, a bunch of kids, lost in a world of options and expectations. Our educators did their best to help us navigate the start to our individual paths, but they quickly learned how difficult it was going to be to get through to an overwhelmed group of 12-year-olds. Many of us joined sports teams and clubs to help with the process of finding ourselves, which occupied our time, but weren't providing the direction for our futures that we so desperately craved. After what seemed like a lifetime of failed attempts at uncovering our own destinies, we had finally wrapped up the most perplexing period of our life, and it was time to enter the next chapter of our lives, high school. On the night before my first day of freshman year, I vividly remember my aunt calling me and asking me how I was feeling. After confessing that I was incredibly nervous and didn't know what to expect, she offered me some insight on her personal experience at Southwestern. Without any hesitation, she told me that her 4 years of high school were some of the best years of her life, and that there's something very special to learn from the Southwestern community that forever lives inside every Mustang. At first, I struggled to recognize the validity of her advice. I was so overwhelmed juggling my academic course load with extracurriculars while still making an attempt at having a social life to even consider giving any thought to what kind of an impact Southwestern would leave on me. However, it turns out that she was right. Aside from the mathematical formulas and student section cheers that we will never forget, Southwestern has instilled a very important skill in every one of us: the ability to both determine and achieve our dreams. The plethora of courses and organizations designed to help students explore their interests, paired with an outstanding group of educators and community members encouraging us to shoot high, is a staple component of the tradition of excellence that Southwestern prides itself on. This unconditional support fosters the perfect environment for students to feel comfortable forming their dreams, while also having the facilities to achieve them. Looking back, I couldn't be more proud of all that the class of 2020 has accomplished over our 4 years at Southwestern High School. To start, we have some of the most talented individuals that I've ever met. One of my favorite things to do while walking to class was admiring the outstanding artwork lining our hallways. Whether it be murals, sculptures, or self-portraits, you guys never fail to impress me. Outside of the classroom, we have numerous athletes and musicians recognized for their great skill at the state level, leaders who have rallied groups of individuals together to enact change within our community, and students who have worked tirelessly to be able to attend their dream university in the fall. While our individual successes are undoubtedly impressive, one thing I have learned through my past 18 years is the magnitude of greatness that we can accomplish in numbers. Since our birth, we have seen large groups working together to transform our society into a better place to live. To name a few successes, we've seen the election of the first Black U.S. president, a growing acceptance of non-traditional ways of living, and an increased presence of movements encouraging individuals to speak their own truth. These events mark great periods of progress in world history, but there is absolutely more work to be done. Around the world, there are families suffering with extreme hunger, children without access to the quality of education that we here take for granted, and citizens that haven't ever felt safe within the borders of their own country. When the media makes you doubt our generation's ability to make progress on these issues, take a step back and look at the outstanding accomplishments that our classes made when we came together. In just 4 short years, we have seen our athletes lead their teams to numerous victories. Our organization leaders bring home countless state and national awards. And we have even led our community in raising over $350,000 for the Four Diamonds Foundation to help support families suffering the burden of pediatric cancer. While these feats may seem small in comparison to those accomplishments that shook the world, they all started with just one person and a dream. Regardless of whether your individual path takes you to college, the workforce, or the military, remember to never become discouraged or distracted by others, because you too have the opportunity to achieve greatness. After bearing witness to our collective accomplishments, I am beyond confident that every single one of you has the ability to change the world. Now, it's just your turn to figure out exactly what you want your impact to look like. While I still wouldn't turn down the opportunity to star in the next Incredibles movie, my dream now is to be my own kind of Mr. Incredible. I strive to be in a position where I can inspire others to make their own impact on the world. As we begin to consider our own aspirations, we have a very important choice to make. We can choose to either work to individually feed one hungry man, or work together to alleviate the impact of worldwide hunger. While the act of personally achieving your own goal on a small scale may bring you some satisfaction, there is still a whole world out there just waiting for you to make your impact. Having such a large-scale influence will be a difficult challenge, but as someone once told me, it's far better to be exhausted from success than to be rested from failure. Your goals are only as big as you want them to be, so don't be afraid to shoot high. It took me a very long time to set my sights on a new dream, but you know what? That's the fascinating thing about dreams. They expand, they change, and they are often bigger than we initially expect them to be.
Southwestern has impacted us all tremendously over the years, giving us so much, and in accordance with tradition, we would like to leave a gift for our school. The class of 2020 has donated a gift that will be useful and a great addition to the school for many years to come. The class has purchased 2 water fountains with water bottle filling stations to replace the old fountains in the 100 and 300 hallways.
Thank you, class of 2020, for your generous and thoughtful gift. It will certainly help with the long lines at the water fountain in the cafeteria while we wait for others to fill their water bottles. I'm positive our underclassmen will get a lot of use out of these fountains. On behalf of the Southwestern School District, I extend my sincere appreciation for your generosity. Thank you.
Welcome, class of 2020, parents, family, and friends. As the parent of a Mustang, I feel that each year, most of my thoughts for graduation are best directed to fellow parents. In the past few weeks, I've contemplated what you've been dealing with, and to say that you've had it a little tougher than those that have come before you is an understatement. Parents, we all come from different walks of life. Some of us have worked outside the home since our kids were little, and some have stayed at home. Some of us have only children, and others have a house full. Regardless of our circumstances, there are certain things we undoubtedly have in common. Namely, the immense pride we feel for our kids, and the protective spirit inside that at times makes us all fierce mama and papa bears. And I think we would all agree there is nothing in the world more painful than watching your child suffer and knowing there is very little you can do to ease their pain. We probably experienced this for the first time when they were just babies and they had that first earache or first fever, and at the time we may have thought nothing could ever feel worse than this. And then time shows us that as our children grow, so is that pain of watching them suffer. Senior parents, for each of you, that pain has probably reached an apex in the last few weeks. For most of you, nothing can top the ache that comes when your child is full of questions that you can't answer and disappointment that seems to double every few weeks. While there are greater tragedies in the world around us, nothing may have felt as heartbreaking as this spring semester has. But if someone hasn't told you yet, let me be the first to say, you've done a great job at making life as normal as possible for the last 12 weeks. You've baked favorite batches of cookies and favorite meals. You've told bad mom or dad jokes that have caused held-back smiles. You've listened, you've sympathized, and you've shed your own tears. And while you've wished for a parenting last few months have probably qualified you to write that manual yourself. You've done a great job. The countless little gestures you've made will not soon be forgotten by your seniors. Please take the time to celebrate your own accomplishments while we celebrate with your students. And graduates, I'd like to share some words of wisdom with you from Chris Dyer. Chris was named Louisiana's 2020 Teacher of the Year. He says, "Your generation can navigate multiple worlds and bounce between physical and digital spaces with ease. You are part of the most racially and ethnically diverse generation, and you embrace those differences in ways adults seem to struggle with. You courageously put yourselves out there for the world to see and criticize. You push boundaries and challenge norms. You find ingenious ways to compensate for any gaps you may have accrued without the help of educators, whether it's through tutoring or sibling. It's a small wonder why post-millennials are on track to become the most well-educated generation yet." Chris goes on to say, "Lastly, I can offer some support. You may not know me, but I feel your pain. It stings. We as educators mourn with you. Again, you are not forgotten. We see your hard work. We value your unique perspectives. We hear your audacious voices. We cherish all of it, and we will continue to do so even from afar. I'm sad for you. Truly I am. I feel deeply for you. Truly I do. It makes my heart hurt as I write. But if there is any group that can plow through this in creative ways, it is your group. There is no pandemic strong enough to silence you or dent the passion of your generation. Keep your head up and keep fighting. Our country needs you because you provide hope for our future. This year may not be what you envisioned, but I'm eager to see what you do with it." Mustangs, you may not know just how profound Chris Dyer's words are, because Chris himself lost his senior year. As his final fall semester was just beginning, Hurricane Katrina devastated his home, his school, and his town. He and his family lived in a shelter for weeks, and eventually he finished high school, his entire high school career, in another state, surrounded by strangers. Chris and so many of his peers defied what some may have thought they could accomplish. He rose above his temporary circumstances and crafted a life focused on building up those around him. And I have no doubt that in your own way, so will each of you. Congratulations, Mustangs.
It is my honor to recognize the students who are in the top 10% of the graduating class of 2020. It has been a long-standing practice at Southwestern that we not just recognize the top 1 or 2 students in the graduating class, but we recognize the entire top 10%. The students whom I'm about to recognize have worked diligently throughout their high school career, as they know that academic excellence is a goal that this is highly valued at Southwestern. Each is wearing a gold stole to symbolize their achievement. We are proud of them, as well as the entire class, for their efforts and dedication to continuing the tradition of excellence at Southwestern High School. I will now announce each student in the top 10%.
Evan Myrdal, Victoria Kiefhofer, Isabella Stranick, Catherine Studdy, Isabella Lang, Jonah Proepper, Abram Conzel, Lamprini Sipling, Garrett Barber, Wilson Lynn, Joshua Clapper, Alexis Jones, Nicole Norris, Nicole Gross. Adriana Hacker. J.C. Kraus. Carson Meckley. Elliot Krogan. Sydney Bankert. Liliana Albrecht. Kyla Brossett. Cone Jacoby. Addison Matthews. Evelyn Bankert. Alyssa Bensel. Suzan Turkkahraman. Leah Collins. Taylor Cromer. Timothy Shaw. Emma Hinson. John Fossen. Abigail Jemison. Christian Kohlerschmidt.
As my official duty as principal for the class of 2020, I acknowledge their completion of all requirements necessary to participate in this virtual ceremony. Dr. Burkhart, Mrs. Berger, and the Southwestern community, I present to you the class of 2020. Class officers, please begin reading the names of your classmates.
Angelo Alassio, Emily Albin, Liliana Albrecht, Sydney Albrecht, Tyler Alderson, Owen Altoff, Noah Altland, Miguel Amador, Jack Anderson, Vincent Arambolo, Brandon Augustine, Andrew Baldwin, Ethan Bainey, Evelyn Bankert, Sydney Bankert, Garrett Barber, Madeline Barrick, Ella Balker, Alyssa Bensel, Catherine Benzing, Anna Brzonski, Trayton Bitzel, Summer Bivens, Charles Bixler, Brady Biones, Zachary Blank, Daniel Blizzard, Jacob Bollinger, Shelby Bowers, Brooke Boyer, Carissa Brandon, Carson Brazil, John Brayhop, Cameron Brooks, Kyla Brossett, Joshua Brown, Isabella Bulson, Uriah Bernard, Samuel Burns, Benjamin Bootner, Haley Byers, Brooke Capel, Mariah Caraballo, Logan Chase, Rara Shokun, Jordan Christ, Joshua Clapper, Caitlin Coates, Austin Cofield, Ashley Coggins, Corinne Coleman, Leah Collins, Douglas Conaway, Cole Cooper, Julian Crawford, Elliot Krogan,
Taylor Cromer, Christopher Kraus, JC Kraus, Emily Crusenberry, Malia Culp, Lindsay Cunningham, Emily Curley, Ian Darrow, Riley DeCourcy, Laura Dietrich, Ashley Dival, Jordan Doobie, Lucas Dunnick, Brady Dutera, Justin Eaton, Hastings Eddy, Ellie Edwards, Samuel Enzer, Cassandra Evans, Kylie Eiler, John Fossin, McKenna Fieser, Brianna Fouch, Elaine Fernandez, Anna Fiordamondo, Kirsten Fischbach, Logan Flynn, Sage Foos, Sean Frame, Alexis Freeman, Jonah Friel, Aaron Fry, Alston Furman, Adam Garland, Andrea Gallmer, Brianna Girard, Elijah Gonzalez, Cassidy Goodman, Brody Golden, Aaron Gollett, Isaiah Green, Brooke Griffin, Justin Grosskopf, Adriana Hacker, Alexander Hammond, Jeremy Hargis, Brian Harris,
Joseph Harris,
Nathan Hawkins, Cole Hayden, Albany Hirsch, Bridget Hicks, Valerie Hicks,
Tyler Higdon, Kelsey Higgins, Lindsay Hill, Zachary Hines, Megan Hinchy, Dale Heiss, Adam Hofacker, Emily Hoster, Luca Howard, Hannah Hutchinson, Emma Henson, Max Jakowski, Cohen Jacoby, Abigail Jemison, Daniel Johnson, Sierra Joave, Rebecca Kays, Matthew Keating, Victoria Kiefhofer, Michaela Keeling, Colton Kemper, Riley Kidd, Destiny King, Hayden Kleindence, Brooke Nepper, Christian Kohlerschmidt, Abram Konzel, Genesis Krebs, Catherine Kraut, William Kuhn, Tyler Ladd, Derek Lambden, Rachel Lamison, Isabella Lang, Austin Latham, Corey Lawler, Dylan Leal, Maya Lease, Andrew Lee, Corey Lee, Jade Lepo, Jordan Lighty, Wilson Lynn, Winnie Lynn, Marshall Long, Christian Mango, Mackenzie Mayer, Dennis Mann, Courtney Makeda, Ashlyn Martz, Mercedes Mattern, Addison Matthews, Jack McBride, Logan McDaniel, Emily McKay, Bailey McMillian, Bailey McQuay, Carson Meckley.
Hannah Messner, Austin Michaely, Caitlin Mitchie, Gage Milan, Kensington Miller, Rebecca Miller, Tyler Miller, Tyler Moffett, Austin Moore, Thomas Morris, Victoria Mullins, Alex Mummer, Michael Mummer, Evan Myrdal, Hunter Neal, Jaden Nelson, Brittany Nye, Amanda Nichols, Joseph Nichols, Nicole Norris, Alejandro Oliveras, Brittany Olson, Byron Palmer, Caitlin Panic, Ryan Paul, Cameron Perry, Gavin Phillips, Nathan Phillips, Samuel Pyatt, Elizabeth Pichardo, Madison Pittinger, Thomas Powell, Zachary Pressgreaves, Jackson Quinn, Michaela Quinnett, Emma Robinstein, Jordan Raup, Leanne Reed, Nathan Relack, Cody Rusing, Nicholas Ridenhour, Aaliyah Rigsby, Jared Rill, Joel Rincion, Chloe Robinson, Taylor Robinson, Ashlyn Rogers, Carly Rogers, Marissa Rummel, Benjamin Schaefer, Lauren Schatz, Alexis Schmidt, Colby Senecal,
Ty Schaefer, Ian Schaefer, Chase Sheehan, Michael Scholl, Timothy Scholl, Andrea Shu, Neil Shudica, Jada Simmons, Hannah Simpson, Clyde Vincent Singh, Lamprini Sipling, Eden Smith, Jasmine Smith, Mackenzie Smith, Tyler Smith, Samantha Snyder, Kyle Summers, Anna Sprinkle, Alexandra St. Rose, Taylor Staken, Noah Stefano, Holly Sterrett, Cameron Stevens, Isabella Stranick, Sophia Stranick, Zoe Stremmel, Catherine Studi, Riley Serber, Summer Swanner, Gabrielle Tinsman, Kyle Towell, Madison Tranzo, Daniel Tubina Bolivar, Jacob Urbine, Matthew Bogan, Lindsay Watson, Molly Watts, Zachary Weaver, Carl Wisniewski, Zachary Whiteford, Marie Wickham, Annabelle Wilderson, Sarah Wiles, Benjamin Weinbrenner, Morgan Wise, Lindsay Witterman, Logan Wolf, Spencer Wolf, Evan Wonder, Jocelyn Woodruff, Hannah Yater, Ethan Zengel, Bailey Zepp, Mark Zier, Samuel Zimmerman.
It is my pleasure to read the names of the 2020 class officers. Nicole Gross, historian. Jonah Proepper, treasurer. Alexis Jones, secretary. Grace DiRienzo, vice president. Suzan Turkkahraman, president. I proudly pronounce you graduates of Southwestern High School. Thank you for joining us for the class of 2020 virtual graduation ceremony.
Lay, sir, yeah.
Kayla's in the building.
Already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come to the show. What goes on? Alright, already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come to the show goes on. Have you ever had the feeling that you was being had? Don't that make you mad? They treat you like a slave, put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through they teeth, hope you slip up off your path. I don't switch up, I just laugh, put my kicks up on they desk, unaffected by they threats. Then get busy on they that's how that Chateau made me. That's how my daddy raised me. That glittering may not be gold, don't let nobody play me. If you are my homeboy, you never have to pay me. Go and put your hands up. When times is hard, you stand up. LUP the man, cause a brand that the fans trust. So even if they ban us, they'll never slow my plans up. Already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on. Alright, already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on. One in the air for the people ain't here. Two in the air for the father that's there. Three in the air for the kids in the ghetto. Four for the kids that don't wanna be there. None for the trying to hold him back. Five in the air for the teacher not scared to tell those kids that's living in the ghetto that coming back that the world is theirs. Yeah, the world is yours. I was once that little boy, terrified of the world. Now I'm on a world tour. I will give up everything, even start a world war. For these ghetto girls and boys I'm rapping around the world for. Africa to New York, Haiti then I detour. Oakland out to Auckland, Gaza Strip to Detroit. Say hip hop only destroy. Tell them look at me, boy. I hope your son don't have a gun and never be a D-boy. Already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on. Alright, already the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come up. The show goes on. So no matter what you've been through, no matter what you into, no matter what you see, when you look outside your window, brown grass or green grass, picket fence or barbed wire, never ever put them down. You just lift your arms higher, raise them till your arms tired. Let them know you there, that you struggling, surviving, that you gon' persevere. Yeah, ain't nobody leaving, nobody going home. Even if they turn the lights out, the show is going on.